So excited to take you to Nassau in the Bahamas, a place I love. Joan Evans joins us. She's written a book called The Darker Side of Love. She has the most brilliant smile that you're going to see right here. See, she lights up, and she's got a copy of her book in her hand. It's got a beautiful cover. And Joan, I know you're super proud of it, and I know your friends have said wonderful things about it, but what led you to writing this book? Why'd you write it?
It was a challenge from a family friend. They knew about my love of writing and they contacted me and said, I was saying this short story competition and I thought of you that you can enter the competition. So I said, that's a thought. So I sat down and began writing, and then I became so engrossed in my writing, I lost track of the word count. And when I checked it, I said, well, I passed the short story length. I said, should I finish this? So I decided to because the story had not yet been completed. It was not at the end. So I kept writing and writing. And the amazing thing about it, as I wrote, I I was constantly surprised about what was happening next. I really wanted to see it through to completion.
And you did see it to the completion. Tell
Yeah.
the viewers about the story. What's the story about?
The story is a family saga. It's about a family that everyone saw as this close-knit, loving family. And one day the mother gets sick and she dies within hours. So everyone, the doctors were concerned that they could not determine what had caused the death. So they needed an autopsy to be done to determine the cause of death. And when they made that request, then the husband began saying that he did not want it and that it was not something that his wife would have wanted. And this position was new to the rest of the family. The children were not aware. They'd never heard their mother say that. So tension began to arise in the family over that because the husband was strongly opposed to the autopsy. But the hospital and law enforcement was requiring it. And so the autopsy was done and it was revealed that she died of suspicious circumstances. And so the tension began to increase more and more because there's suspicions about what caused the death and who caused it.
What do
So
you hope people take away from reading your book?
the book is faith-based. So I would like people to take away the fact that faith helps you when you're faced with painful circumstances. The main character, she has strong faith in God, and she relies heavily on that faith to help her to deal with this pain because she's not only suffering the pain, the loss of her mother, she's dealing with the tension and the division in her family. And all of the things that are being said, the things that she's uncovering, they're painful for her, difficult for her to deal with, but she relies heavily on her faith to see us through that. And also forgiveness is something I would like people to take away, to see the need to have forgiveness because she's she will have to forgive her siblings because of the tension and the things that were said during the times of the investigation. She has to be able to forgive them, and then she has to forgive the person at the end when it's revealed um, the circumstances of her mother's death. She has to forgive the person who was involved with that, the person or persons involved in that. So forgiveness and to know that God is your source and your strength in difficult times.
Was it fun for you to write it?
It was. It was. It was amazing how it happened because as I was writing the book, I wrote it as a reader. And to explain that is that as I was writing, it's like I was having an out of body experience where I was excited each time I came to write because I was looking forward to see what would happen next. It was not like I had this whole plot out there and I knew what I wanted to write. The story was developing each time I came to write, and I was excited to see what was happening. As I was writing, there are a lot of times, and I was like, oh, So, and the beautiful thing about it is that now that it's published and people are reading it, they're expressing to me that they've had the same experience that I had in writing it. So that's a joy.
No kidding. The Darker Side of Love, you can get it at Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Joan Evans, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.